imagine if you could predict the emotional effectiveness of your advert before it even went out to the wider world and the viewing public. Well, it's actually possible. And one company that's doing that is DAIVID. And I've got Barney here from DAIVID, creative intelligence platform, which is basically a way of predicting emotional responses. And I have to say, I do love a lot of the output that you guys send over to us at Media Shots with what's the most emotionally engaging advert for the World Cup and this event and that event. How does that AI technology manage to predict an emotional outcome before a campaign goes live?
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate all of your output too. Right, let's get into the methodology real quick, because it could take forever. Put simply, DAIVID is human trained and AI powered. And the training that goes into it is real people being asked questions in a survey, facial coding, eye tracking, etc., to understand specifically what it is in creative that makes people feel that way. So we can then show loads and loads of ads to DAIVID, and it can predict on the basis of what it knows whether it's going to work or not.
Great, so that's that explained.
Yeah.
We're in Cannes this week where there's been a lot of talk. AI has probably been the number one phrase that's being repeated and repeated. What sort of conversations have you been having with people out there this week?
I mean, specifically for us, our mission here, as we're embedding our partnerships, we've been spending time with our partners, people like Billion Dollar Boy, feeding their creator instinct strategy, OpenX, providing emotional segmentation of supply on their platform, working with CreativeX, our best mates. And so that's been cool, hanging out with partners, and we're going to an Extreme Reach party tonight. And then obviously, I'm co-founder and CGO, so a whole bunch of new business.
Right.
But in the classic Cannes way, I've tried to make a bit of time for serendipity and had some nice pints with, old friends and new.
So that's important too. That's probably one of the draws about Cannes, because it is a fantastic location, even though we're taking a bit of refuge from the heat inside the foyer of a hotel here.
Yeah.
What can we expect next? I mean, I would imagine a company like yourselves, you're always looking at ways to improve, to reapply the AI. I'm almost dreading mentioning the word agentic, but does that come in?
Yes, of course it does, and I was going to try and avoid it, but you brought it up. What I'll answer with, I was thinking before I came here about what I think the themes are that I've seen. And the first one, without doubt, is to do with agentic, and it is, we provide creative intelligence at scale. And that's data, essentially, rich data about how creative works, which has been a massively underused signal in making media performance work. So this year, I've seen a lot of discussions from brands, agencies, and ad tech about bringing data sources together, predominantly via agentic systems that can now pass this sort of thing. And so DAIVID represents that Rosetta Stone to translate creative at scale into something that can be used to drive media performance. So that's one. Second thing, slightly outside of my purview, but without a doubt, it's a lot more influencer this year, or creator. And it feels like creators maybe got through its painful adolescence and has grown up, and it's here. Anyway, there's a lot of younger, better looking people everywhere, very beautiful with lovely skin. So that's been cool. And final thing, I think is a big thing. Last year, when you look at Cannes, I think it's good to look at year on year. Mm-hmm. And last year, I thought felt like the end of a wake, like a period of grief, when the whole industry, creative and media, had realized that AI was coming through like a scythe. And beyond that, after the hype cycle and you get into the trough of disillusionment, that's where the grown-ups roll up their sleeves and start finding specific use cases and doing specific things with the tools at their disposal, past the hype and into the real. And I've felt that. Both brands we're talking to who are getting real about what they can do. It's not perfect, but they're getting real. The holdcos have obviously been coerced into becoming tech businesses like that, and I'm going to meet some smart people who are doing that right now at one of the holdcos, and similarly ad tech as well, who are evolving at breakneck speed. So it's that kind of cautious optimism about grown-ups. The fox was in the hen house, and it was an absolute nightmare last year, and it felt a little bit sad, and I feel this cautious optimism and grown-up, sleeves rolled up approach this year.
So it sounds like we're kind of just getting on with it now. So I don't want to force you into any predictions, but if that's where we were last year and then this year, where can we expect to be next year then? Or where would you hope for us to be?
Oof. Well, for our company personally, so two things, us personally and then what I think generally. for our company personally, we've seen that creative effectiveness and the use of data at scale to drive advertising performance in an age of get more with less is only really sort of being adopted now. So I would like to see that done at massive scale. It's all there, the ability to do it, it's just stitching the data sources together. So I want to see that. More broadly, I think next year, I was trying to think about something that I think is going to be bigger next year, and I think the disintermediation of the buying funnel via people interrogating Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, at the moment it's such a minuscule percentage that it might be chatted about in futurist rooms, but next year it will start to become a thing. And the way in which retail has grown to just become media and influence or whatever, I think next year that will be the big chat, the disintermediation of ad channels at scale because of consumers interrogating discovery, aware, consideration and purchase via one little interface.
And just finally, because we're here in Cannes, and like, as you say, you've got to take a little bit of time out as well. What is the current or recent advert that you've most engaged with on an emotional level? What spoke to you?
I mean, okay, two things. Number one, we still look at ads individually, and I know Dave sends stuff over to you guys and all that. But the majority of what we do is about data now, so it's slightly less creative and sexy. However, without doubt, it was the John Lewis Christmas ad.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because I'm 51, my son's 14, we're beginning to drift apart a little bit. I was an old school raver, so I was the demographic of about 20 people in London for whom that was absolutely perfect, and I did actually cry.
That was the great advert when Dad puts a record on,
and then
that takes
goes
him back
to a rave
his
in the
rave
90s.
day.
Yeah. So yeah, that hit me very, very hard, that one.